Apparently, the AirPods Pro are doing all right. Well, Apple sold a couple of those.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they sent them out there into the world. Shipments for the entire AirPods line are expected to double this year to 60 million units. That's a lot of AirPods. What do you got? 350 million people in the U.S. You know, in Canada, it's like 35 million people. That's more AirPods than Canadians. Kirk liked that one. That's a lot of AirPods, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, even in the U.S., I mean, obviously it's a global figure, but still 60 million AirPods. You just figure that out. I was reading an article recently about making the argument that AirPods are disposable as well because the batteries run out within about a year. If you use them regularly, they stop holding a significant charge. And you can't really be replacing batteries on AirPods. They're so tiny. I don't even know if Apple does it. So if you get 60 million people on the hook that get accustomed to the convenience of AirPods and they're using them regularly, replacing them every year or two, it's a couple of dollars.
Yeah. What's $300 to a year, you know?
It's a couple of dollars.
Yeah.
You put that in the bank. You get a little interest on it. You put it in a bank in Ireland so you avoid taxes. That's what they did.
Yeah.
Although they just brought a bunch of money back recently because they're all shaking hands with Trump now. Well, yeah. Tim is. Tim and Trump are opening factories in Austin, Texas.
More factories.
New York Times ain't happy
Barbecue.
about it. New York Times ain't happy about it. And Tim did not correct Trump when he said, "I'm just out here opening factories." Yeah. Tim was like,
he's just clapping.
Tim was like, "Let's open some factories."
Yeah.
You know? So, I mean, they're employing people. So let's just get that part out of the way. They are actually employing people. Apple employs a couple people, Will.
Do they?
Yeah. They do.
Didn't know that.
So obviously the AirPods Pro came out last month, and the reason that everyone knows they're hot is because they came out and said, okay, they surpassed expectations, and Apple's assembly partners are at capacity for the AirPods. So they're trying to churn them out as quickly as they can. And I'm just going to go ahead and predict, I'm going to go out on a limb, which isn't much of a limb. It's more of a tree trunk, and say this is going to be a hot item this holiday season. Kirk, you're with me on that? It's going to be a hot item this holiday season because it's hard to figure out what to buy people. 2019, everybody has everything. In 2019, you don't know. What you get people? But you get them some AirPods, all of a sudden you're in the good books.
Do you think the Pro will outperform the regulars?
No.
No.
Unless you're buying it for somebody who already had the regulars, just trying to upgrade them or something. But I think for the average person, you're going to be cost sensitive. You might even pick up the one without the wireless charge case, just the entry point. I think will still be, you know what, it's like iPhones. Well, you got the Pro versions, you got the regular versions.
There's options.
There's options available to you, and cost is going to be your major consideration there because it is a convenience type of product for a lot of people. But maybe not, because the Pro is new and the other one isn't, at least for this holiday season. Maybe it'll be different for next holiday season. See, the other thing that happened as well, Microsoft just pushed back. They delayed their AirPods competitor until spring of 2020. And so that gives even more runway for Apple to be the option. Of course, Amazon has theirs. Samsung has theirs.
Yeah,
but,
Galaxy Buds.
I mean, you don't see them in the street the way you see those AirPods. In the street.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're dominating. They're doing well. Apple loves it. Investors love it. Increasingly, Apple becomes this accessory and services company that we've talked about in the past. And numbers like this seem to indicate that people don't mind. People don't mind buying AirPods. I don't know what the next product is. It's just weird. It's kind of funny. If you were to ask me years ago, what's the hot product holiday season, Apple 2019? You just wouldn't have thought they'd be in the headphones game in this way. They bought Beats back then, and you were thinking to yourself, okay, maybe. But then their headphones just eliminate, like they just blew up Beats. I mean, they're still selling Beats. But you go out in the street, like I said, you do an AirPod to Beats ratio. I don't need to say it. I don't need to tell you what happens.